So when you first started into that business, like, were you nervous? How did you feel uncomfortable? Like, how did you feel in that moment?
Initially, I was very nervous and concerned because number one, I didn't know what this was.
Yeah.
You know, Pure Romance. Okay, they sell sex toys, and that was all that I knew.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, and again, coming out of the gospel industry, and even though again they're doing everything up under the sun, my thought was, I don't know how God sees this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
You went from church to selling weenies.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was
that's a
just
big
like,
thing.
I said I needed something fun to do. I said I need to make money, but I'm not trying to bust hell wide open. I don't really know.
Right.
You know, I was
Yeah.
real. And then I had to think about my kids. I'm like, I don't know, you know, because everything was so, you know, we're so programmed in the church.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know if I'm opening up my home to these spirits that are going to come on my children,
Yeah.
like lust and all this kind of stuff, you know. So I talked to, you know, my husband about it, and I was like, you know what, I don't really know what to do. And he said, you know, well, I have those same concerns. He said, but I believe that God knows your heart, and I think God knows what it is that you're trying to do. So he said, I cover you. You know, he said, I cover you. He said, you know, we'll just make sure when you bring these products in the house, you know, our kids were really young, you know, that we just keep them locked up, you know, we're under lock and key.
I'll leave it on the
you know, right? All of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I was very nervous because, you know, we do parties. So when you say we do parties, I'm like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Kind of party.
you know,
But
like,
it means something different where I'm coming from.
yeah, you know, like, are they having orgies at these parties? You know, because coming out of the music industry, when you say you're going to a party, a sex toy party too is a little different.
Yeah, a little different. Yeah.
So I was very nervous going to the first party because I didn't know what to expect. And when I went, because I went to actually shadow someone to see what my job would be. And so I went to the party to observe.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, I was like, this is it? Like, this is girls' night.
Yeah.
Like, we get together with the girls and we have some drinks, some snacks. We talk about relationships. We talk about sex. But this professional that is leading this party is educating women properly, professionally, you know, very, you know, tasteful, you know, and helping women to become empowered in their relationships or with themselves. I'm like, I'm going to get paid to do this?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been nothing. I've never felt at any point in doing this that I was disappointing God or that I was doing something that was not pleasing in his sight. Because it has actually been more of a ministry doing this than my time in church and in the gospel industry ever was.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fake and phoniness on that side, right? And people not being real, you know. And then coming into this, these are regular, everyday people that are not looking to judge. They're looking for help. They're looking for love. They're looking to save their marriages. They're looking to heal from their past traumas. There's a lot of people that I run into that share my same story, you know, which affects their sex lives in their marriages or just in their singlehood. You know what I mean? So anytime at a party, I've prayed with people in my shopping room.
Wow.
You know, like I've had so many women to thank me and tell me, you have no idea what you've done for my marriage. You know, to me, that's God. Right? That's love. And, you know, the Bible says, you know, John said, I became as all things to all men with the hope that I might save some. You know, so it's just real authentic that I can really be me and I really have a heart to serve and love people. And so I really feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Hey, this is Doug Johnston with Artistic Visuals at LQ Financial Group. You're probably one of the #1 startup production companies in the DFW area. Got to work with global stars Erykah Badu,
Real shy, hey, diggy.
David O. Executive produced a show recently with Boosie for the Boosie Gone Bad.
It's what the world been waiting on. I'm finna change the game. I got my own platform. It's going down.
So with all that said, you know, LQ and her organization have helped us grow as a small company, you know, with our taxes or any type of business mentorship and helping the growth in the DFW area. So if you're a small company or a mid-sized company, even a large company, but you guys need direction, the LQ Financial Group.
So why do you feel that, or you think that church people like put shame or on the whole like sex life? Like, why do you think they think like that, or feel like it needs to be something that's protected or covered or shouldn't be done?
I think it's control. I think it is definitely misinformation, misinterpretation. Just give you an example. One of the ladies that I'm partnered with in business, she was married to a pastor. She was a pastor's wife when she got into this business. Mm-hmm. And her, the direction that she wanted to take this business was she wanted to focus on married couples. You know, so she wasn't just like trying to educate just anybody and everybody. Her focus was married people. Beautiful, beautiful person. And the way that she presented things was never offensive. You know, I don't think that how I presented is offensive either, but she was just different. And that I couldn't see her church family or pastors seeing that anything that she was doing was wrong. Mm-hmm. But they did. And they threatened her and her husband.
Oh, wow.
And was like, if you don't stop, if you don't leave this business, we're going to take back the funding from his church.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, are you serious? That's control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like what she is doing in her personal life, which I didn't think was anything that was bad, but helping married people.
Yeah.
You're going to now make everybody else suffer. You're going to now like shut this church down where this pastor is, as far as I know, is doing good for the people. Yeah. It's not something that she's doing at her church that you're funding. This is her separate private life.
Yeah.
And so I know that a lot of those guys or men or whatever that stood in, you know, in that position, they probably cheating on their wives.
Yeah.
They out there picking up prostitutes and doing all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they don't want their big blue uglies to be discovered. Yeah. You know, they want to control and not let you do certain things. So I think it's a lot of that, right? I mean, I have people... Yeah, I mean, we've seen these kind of stories unravel over the years where you then find that a pastor has been living a certain life that's derogatory to what he preaches is the word of God, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, I just think it's misinformation. I think it's control. Yeah, I mean, God owns sex. He created sex. You know, you read the book of Psalm, you know, and all of that is supposed to be a beautiful thing. Yeah. But just even bigger than sexual pleasure, let's just take it to basics of sexual health. Like these women don't even know their bodies and they're suffering. They're in pain.
And that's a big part of what you do. I always see you post about that. That's a big thing that you do.
Yeah.
Actual education. It's really not. And I hate to admit this. I'd rather joke about the weenies.
Yes.
A lot of stuff I see you post is really education.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, do this, do that, you know, take care of this, take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. Because there's not really, you know, aside from us, you know, in the Pure Romance world and the Patty Brisbane Foundation, there's not another organization that does that for women.
Oh, wow.
No, everything has always been about men. You know, and
women need it.
And women need it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's always been that women were objects to please men.
Yeah.
And now they're being taught or deprogrammed. And that's why you have... It's why you have the Cardi B's, the Megan Thee Stallions, the Sexy Reds, the Suki Hanas. You know, they're taking it a whole... I know. It's like, you know, in some of that, you know, I don't like how it's being, you know, presented. Yeah. But a lot of that comes from oppression.
Yeah.
They've been oppressed and controlled. And now they're saying, I'm going to do and say whatever I want to say because it's my body. And you've been, you know, exploiting me and my body.
So now let me exploit you.
Exactly.
Or let me exploit myself.
Yeah. I'm going to take my power back and I'm going to do the thing. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And we don't all agree and we don't all like it. But I understand the place that it comes from. You know, so yeah, I mean, there are women that don't even know where they urinate from. Because who's teaching, who's educating? Because the talk in the household is, you know, we don't talk about sex, we don't talk about our bodies, all of that. It just opens up a whole nother can of worms. So where are women learning this stuff? In the street? You know, and that's why there's so, you know, diseases, because there's unprotected sex that's happening because they don't really know, you know, or just understanding that their body is theirs and it's not for anybody else, you know, to just take control of. all of that. So, I mean, look at what's happening with the whole Cassie situation, and her at 18 years old, getting involved with Diddy, and her, and people will say, and I've heard it, people say, well, doesn't she know how to say no? Well, how did she for 10 years? Why did she take that? Why didn't she say, come on. It's like being controlled, being, brainwashed, afraid of the power that somebody else has over you and some people don't make it out. Thank God Cassie made it out. And she's, from what I understand, in a loving marriage now and has a baby, and things like that, but it's a lot just for a woman to know and understand her power and her body just changes the game in so many ways.
Yeah. With you surviving, the situation when you were younger with sexual assault, how did that play into when you actually went into pure romance? Did you have some apprehension there? Was there a conflict there mentally, or how did you kind of balance the two?
No, the only conflict that I had, like I said, was in the beginning, just not really knowing or understanding if this was a good thing to either to bring into my home or to promote to other people. Because I understand I have a responsibility, and and I serve God. I believe in God, and I don't want to do anything that is going to destroy my relationship with Him. So until I became educated and understanding, that this wasn't a lustful thing, this isn't a dirty thing, sex isn't a dirty word, but being responsible and how you educate people. Like I'm not educating women on sex that are under 18. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you 18 or over, you're old enough to be responsible and to learn these things. Yeah. Now, I think that in your home as a parent, we should be teaching and educating our children at a much younger age,
Absolutely.
But somebody on the outside should not be educating your children under that age. You know what I'm saying? So I just really, getting into this world of sexual health and women's empowerment has empowered me in ways I never thought possible. Like I really feel like Superwoman. Like I feel, as you used the word, unfuckwithable.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is so much bigger than a product. It's so much bigger than sexual health. It is just about women being empowered to know that they matter, that, nobody should be able to take control of their lives, and that your past doesn't have to define you. We all have stuff that's happened to us growing up, and it's affected us, but being able to see examples of women that say, hey, I'm not going to let that control me and affect how I move forward in life and become successful. Yeah. So it has done a lot for me in a positive way.
So now you're one of the bigger brands. What, Zelia Zebras?
Yeah. So that was my team name. But yeah, I am the first Black woman to hold the highest title in pure romance.
Oh wow.
So that was a really, and it wasn't like I sought out to do that, but I mean, you think about, unfortunately, minority women, we're the ones that don't have the education.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that until I got in, and there was a lot of conversation about, only, the women that are big in the company are big because all their clients are white. All their clients are Caucasian, and we have, these Black clients, and they're in the hood. And so therefore, so I learned early on that of course, you look at socioeconomic status does play a factor in some way, but the biggest thing that it is education. Because listen, Black people, we are the ones that keep the economy going. We spend the money on these things, on shoes, on the designer shoes, designer bags, all those things. Yeah. But the reason why we weren't spending money on sexual health is because we didn't see the value. And so I feel like my responsibility was getting Black people or minorities to see the value in spending their money on vibrators, on, enhancement products, just basic bath and beauty. It's a lot of dirty chicks out here. I'm just put it out there. They looking real good on the outside, but you unwrap that and it's not pretty,
right.
But that's also because they weren't educated on the importance of it. And so if they had to choose, it's like, I'm going to spend my money on this designer bag, or I'm going to get this bundle of weave. Yeah. I'm not spending no $200 on no vibrator or no enhancement products. Yeah. So I feel like once they've been educated, they see the value, and now they can spend their money on that.
So you were tapping into a marketplace that the company itself hadn't really pursued.
No, where they pursued it, but they just didn't have that figurehead that people.
And they didn't have any Black women to.
They had Black women, but I think, unfortunately, there's certain, we see it now all the time. Certain Black men and certain Black women actually make it through the door. All about how you represent yourself, all about the look, all about how you speak, all of that, right? So, you know, me, grew up middle class, you know, professional woman, you know, things like that was safe. You know what I'm saying? That was safe for people to see, like, you know, she's safe and we can have her represent. We know she's not going to say anything crazy. She looks, you know, she's pretty. She looks, you know, she dresses well, all of that. That's just my thought process. I believe that.
Safe when they let you.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
you're not safe. They got bamboozled. You are not safe.
Psych.
At all. Yeah, y'all fell for that. Yeah.
She said, "Gotcha."
Gotcha, bitch. Nah, you wasn't safe. But you got in the door.
It's the code switch.
That,
you know?
that got you in the door.
Yeah, no, but
for you to write your own situation.
Yep. And it gave a lot of other women that look like me hope.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this company's been around 31 years.
Yeah.
And the founder and the president, they want that representation. They want all women.
Because once they saw you could do it and saw what you were tapping into, they say, oh, we need more of that.
Yep, it's true. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, the sad thing is, though, even still, you know, unfortunately, we still have not had the growth as Black women within this industry that we should.
Oh, wow.
The Latino market, they've come in and just took over. Oh. I think that they have a different work ethic. Mm-hmm. You know, they have a certain level of desperation because, you know, they don't have. And they're just like, if they're going to work, get out there and get it. And unfortunately, and I, to be honest, don't really understand the reasons why. But when I talk to, you know, like even my husband, or I talk to other people that kind of know the struggle of Black people coming up in racism and all that, they have different viewpoints as to why that's not happened. For me, I don't get it. You know, I'm just like, as a Black woman, I mean, I just love people, period. Yeah. And just like you, LQ, we talk about this all the time. I call her the plug. You know, she's always out here helping other women that look like her. Mm-hmm. And if we had more of that, and also had people that are not afraid to work, we would have so much more. We would accomplish so much more. Yeah. But it's like, no matter who I bought in that looked like me, they haven't gotten even to my level, and they didn't stick.
But you said a key word earlier. You said about being basically trained that way.
Yeah.
So I feel like our culture, after, you know, seeing a lot of them and talking to a lot of women that, you know, and like you said, helping people do better. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing is because of where they come from. They've been trained in their mindset, even though they're talking the talk, like, oh, well, we're not doing this because this, and we was off of this and the slavery this and da-da-da, but they still keep that same mindset of, oh, well, I'm not going to get that because I can't afford this, or, oh, I'd rather spend it on weave, like you said, versus things that it's actually need for better sexual health. So to me, like, that's what I've viewed it, and I've seen even people when it comes to the financial stuff, they looking at that quick, hey, let me get that quick money real quick because this is what I'm going to be able to get this rim and this hair and pay for my man, this, that, and the other. And then they car getting repoed in 3 months.
Right. Yeah. It's bad. And I'm going to tell you, and don't get me wrong, every race and culture of women have their issues amongst each other. Right. Absolutely. So I'm not just trying to like single us out, but when it comes to business and building a legacy, I mean, I just got to admit that other races just do it differently and they do it better, you know, because even being in this industry, my Caucasian sisters in this business, they share everything with us. They don't have a crabs in a barrel mentality. And they're like, anything that they can do to help you to achieve the success they've had or more, they're giving it freely. And I've never experienced that before in my life before getting in this industry. Yeah. And that's been such a huge blessing. I mean, because again, the color of my skin, being a light Black woman, you know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of struggles with my own Black sisters, you know what I'm saying? Not loving on me or being jealous and all that kind of stuff. And so coming into this industry and having women just like be eager to help, and it'd be no strings attached, no drama. What? Where they do that at? Yeah, I love it. So this has been a safe place for me, you know. But I'm also realizing, you know, which I talked to you about, LQ, that I have to get out more and expand my territory because I can't play safe. Yeah. You know, but I've just been loving and embracing just the love and the togetherness and the empowerment of my clients within this sexual health world and pure romance. But I have to get out and mingle with other people. I just don't like drama.
Yeah.